just checking in before I go to my speech. I'm going to try and record it and vlog it later. It's just a speech I'm doing, it's nothing big, it's just a group my nana goes to at the Salvation Army. They've asked me to do a talk about my time in Africa. After seeing these images and videos and truly seeing how the students were compelled to make a change, I decided I wanted to make a difference. Over the years and time that I spent at Dunbury School, I continued to support the charity. Since its conception in 2004, the Meserani project has rebuilt 10 classrooms in various schools throughout Tanzania. With ever-growing support, the charity was able to evolve, and it is now responsible for sponsoring 84 children through their 4 years of secondary education, myself included, one of the sponsors of a 16-year-old girl called Upendo. Without our help and support, she would be forced into marriage or have to work on Maasai farms, but we are giving her the stepping stones to enhance her future by giving her a tool of education. In 2010, October, I was told that I would be fortunate enough to visit Kenya and Tanzania with the Meserani project. And let me tell you something, that was the greatest day. After all my hard work and dedication, I was now going to see firsthand the difference the project makes. During my time in Kenya and Tanzania, I faced turbulent ups and downs. And I know it sounds cliche, but the time I spent there really did change my life. The visit I took enabled me to visit landmarks of the charity and milestones they had achieved. This image here shows me at Laliesha school, the school where it all started for the charity. It was an overwhelming moment for me to be stood in the place that I had seen in those images all those years ago. I've made many memories whilst travelling throughout Africa, none more so when I visited the Kibera slum in Kenya, which is the world's second largest slum. It was inspiring for me to see the strength and commitment the people had while they lived in conditions I would only describe as squalor and wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. As much as I'd like to erase the pain and suffering that I've seen throughout my trip, I treasure the moments and time that I spent in Kibera slum, especially with this little boy. Now I don't know what you see when you see this picture, but all I focus on is his big brown eyes and his beautiful smile. I remember stepping out of the truck that day and seeing the shock and despair in all my fellow friends' eyes as we were witness to conditions like this. As I stepped into the St. Cecilia school, the school where we were visiting and trying to help move out of the slum, I felt a tug on my hand. This little boy had grabbed my hand and followed me in. What I did next, I don't regret, but maybe I shouldn't have. I picked him up. In that moment, I felt compelled to protect him. I couldn't have spent more than half an hour with this little boy, but to me, and in those moments, I represented hope and safety for this youngster. I took this trip to represent strength and hope for all these people, but in a moment of weakness and overwhelming emotion, I began to cry. Noticing my tears, what happened next was a truly transitional moment for me. This little boy looked into my eyes and nuzzled further into my body. For I was meant to be there to comfort him, but in the end, he was the one who ended up comforting me. It was a heartbreaking moment for me when he was taken out of the protection of my arms and led back to his uncertain future. Many questions swirled around my mind in that moment. Where was he going back to? Who or what would be there? But what haunted me most was I didn't know what he would face, and I would never truly know where he was going back. And I didn't even know his name. This little boy had made such an impact on my trip and continues to impact my everyday life. But I did not know his name, and for that, it will always kill me. Since that moment and that time, and my trip to Kenya and Tanzania, I vowed I would continue to make a difference. I've learned that my voice matters, and what I do matters, and it's shown me that the Meserani project, and many other projects like it, truly do make a difference. It offers education, which I believe is a basic human right. By giving children the hope and the integrity to learn, which is something they strive to do, it gives them the stepping stones to enhance their future, and maybe, in the certain future, they can get out of the the world that they live in and maybe step closer to a world like ours. My dream and hope to complete in my life is to make more kids smile like this and to create happiness for these children and lead them to a better future. Since my return, I have done many things to support this charity and many others. This involves me selling jewellery, going to hospital stalls. I've organised a dance event, and my latest venture is I'm taking part in a skydive in September to raise as much funds as I can so we can help move the St Cecilia School out of the Cabera slum. I often get asked why. Why do I love to help charity? Why do I care? Why do I bother to help? My answer to these people is, why not?
Oh, thank you.